Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam to all your sincere seva, beta.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shyama Gauri Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shyam Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Gauranga, and all glories to all the assembled devotees on the call. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Is anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. This is Sharanagata Devi Dasi from Plattsburgh, Maryland. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. I think Prabhuji is not joined yet, Mataji. Can we continue our chanting for some?
Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah.
So Rishon Prabhuji is there for the introduction.
Or shall we go with the introduction, Mataji?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
we
Mataji,
can
Hare
chant,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Oh,
Because
Maharaj is joining in a minute.
oh, then let's do the intro. Oh, Maharaj is
so-
already there.
yeah.
Okay.
Please start recording, Mataji.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Let me spotlight Maharaj.
Yeah. Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sanga conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter number 14, verse number 2. Before diving into the call, I'll hand over the call to Sureshwar Shyam Prabhu to give brief introduction of His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please take over the call, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Here is a brief introduction about Prabhuji. His Grace Samik Rishi Prabhu is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Being a doctor by profession, he has done immense services to the devotee community and served the society by donating for lots of projects. For example, he donated the deities in Philadelphia temple, and he had made 3,000 temple units that serve as an altar in the villages. Prabhuji also served as temple president of ISKCON New Jersey for 15 years. Recently, Prabhuji has helped in building Radha Gopinath Mandir in Kargaon, Madhya Pradesh, and a community for devotees to live around it. Prabhuji is also known for his simplicity and humility. Prabhuji is now an initiating guru in ISKCON. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Back to you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'll hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, can you unmute yourself, please?
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thanks for giving me opportunity to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam. It's about, the topic is ideal family life. It describes about all the four order Varnashram Dharma. So in the last chapter, we read about Brahmacharya, Vanprastha, Sannyas, and this is the whole topic is about family life, Grihastha life. So we'll talk some briefly on that, Grihastha life. It's the most common and very, very important ashram that one can live, and because it support all other world and ashram people except the Grihastha life. So it's very important to understand it fully. And most of the problem in the society is because of not understanding the Grihastha life properly. Most of the people are Medis rather than Grihasthas. So we'll pray to the Supreme Lord to give us insight so we could follow the proper instruction of what discussion. These are discussion between Yudhishthir Maharaj and Narad Muni. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalaam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandhu Pate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Nama Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krapa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Tishatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nastapradeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhagavati Naistiki. So the sum and substance of this this verse or this chapter is a grihastha should marry and work to sustain oneself, but not try to enjoy the results which may result in bondage. And see, he should work and then dedicate the results to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He should offer the results of one's work to Krishna, offer charity to Brahmanas, associate with saints, and slowly inculcate detachment from relationship and possessions. So that is the in nutshell or saransh of this. So the ideal family life. In the last verses, we read about the grihastha should offer the results of one work to Krishna and be detached, devoted, neutral, simple, responsible, and maintain others as well. Means not family, but maintain other living beings because they are also part and parcel of Krishna. And so three ashrams were described in the last chapter, but Narad Muni now explains the path of householder, the rest engaged in worldly activities according to the time and place. So King Yudhishthir is asking, explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation. Because human life is very short. How one can attain liberation and become free and go back home, back to Godhead easily. So this Narad Muni is replying as follows. So we'll read the verse number 2. Narada Usri Narada Uvacha गृहेष्वस्थितो राजन् क्रियाः कुर्वन्य अथोचितः वासुदेवार्पणं साक्षात् उपासीत महामुनिन्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Narad Muni replied, my dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood. And instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to Krishna. Vasudeva. How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. Like there are 12 Mahajans. If you follow Mahajano, Yena Datasa Pantha. So if they follow, then they will understand that how all this could be done in a practical way. So one has to understand the Siddhant and then walk on the Siddhant. Walk your talk. So purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing, the format for Grastha life should be dedication to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the main thing, that we should dedicate ourselves to Krishna. And dedication means by body, mind, and words, not just and your possessions. Everything, because everything belongs to Krishna. So we should dedicate, and this is the verse from 6th one. That is the Dhyan Yoga. अनाश्रित कर्म फलम कार्यम कर्म करोति यः स सन्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर न चाक्रियः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. So this is between, like, people who just wear some saffron clothing and don't cook, don't light, perform, like, not only just cooking, no lights and fire, and there is no duty. He just free roams around. But in reality, the sannyasi who is preaching and going to give the enlightens the people, and who do not stay in one place and enjoy, his disciples are people who invite him. But one should be unattached to the fruits of his work. What it means, fruits of his work means whatever you get, it should all be not for your enjoyment. Everything belongs to Krishna. Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam. So it should be used for Krishna's purpose. And Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and He's seated as Paramatma in everyone's heart. So we should act in such a way that we don't hurt other people. Although there is always some mistake to be performed, means could happen because of the Kali Yuga and the human life. But one should try their best and follow the saintly people and have compassion for all the living beings, and do work as he is obligated. Whatever is assigned to him, in whatever, like he's a grasta, but in grasta, whether he's a vanprasthi, sannyasi, or whatever, grasta, so he should try to support the others in the ashrams. So eightfold means there is people, they perform eightfold yoga and others, but the best thing is bhakti yoga, and that is what is being described here. Whether one acts as a brahmachari, grahastha, vanprastha, sannyas, he must act only for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. So this is the main motto, that whatever you do, you should satisfy, and that is surrender. That is the process. Anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjana. Your sankalpa should be, it should be favorable to Krishna. Krishna should be satisfied, and he is the central point, central pivot. If he is happy, then all the living beings who are a part and parcel of him become happy. If the water is given to the root, then whole tree becomes green and nice. And if the fish is in the water, fish is happy. If it comes out of the water, it cannot be happy. So we are out of our own natural atmosphere, and we should try to go to the spiritual atmosphere. It could be done even in the material world also, but by going back home, back to Godhead, we could have support of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or we could go and enjoy with him and play with him. So a dog is happy when he has a master. A child is happy when he has loving parents. And so we will give a little bit more insight into those things. This should be the principle for everyone's life. So please, Krishna. Narad Muni has already described the principles of life for a brahmachari, vanprastha, and sannyasi. And now he's describing how a grahastha should live. The basic principles is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The science of satisfying the Supreme Lord can be learned as described here. Sakshat upasita. Upa means a nearby. Upasa means you. Sakshat upasita mahamunim. Means nearby you stay with the Mahamuni, the great devotees. The word Mahamunin refers to great saintly persons or devotees. Saintly persons are generally known as Munis, are thoughtful philosophers concerned with transcendental subject matters. And Mahamunin refers to those who have not only thoroughly studied the goal of life, but who are actually engaged in satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. These persons are known as devotees. So devotees are one who are engaged in their duties to satisfy the Supreme Lord, whether by book distribution, by deity worship, or by cooking or keeping the temple clean, or collecting funds for the temple to run. And so all these things are duties of the devotees who are engaged in loving devotional service to satisfy the Lord. Unless one can associate with devotees, one cannot learn the science of Vasudeva, Vasudeva,
Arpanam.
Vasudeva Arpanam, are dedicating one's life to Vasudeva, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In India, the principles of this science were followed strictly. Even 50 years ago, I saw that in the villages of Bengal and the suburbs of Calcutta, people engaged in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam daily. When all their activities ended, or at least in the evening before going to bed, everyone would hear the Bhagavatam. Bhagavat classes were held in every village, and thus people had the advantage of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes everything about the aim of life, liberation or salvation. This will be clearly explained in the next verses. I could vouch from my own life, like when I was a little child. Now I'm 79-year-old, talking about almost 75 years ago. And so people have like they make dioramas with the mud and colors and describe about the activity of the Bhagavatam characteristics, whether they are Pandavas or whether it is Draupadi or Prahlad Maharaj, and all of those things were did. Also, there were talks. They will give the lecture, even short lecture, but before sleeping, like 8:30, people used to sleep earlier, wake up earlier. And so my habit, even now I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in Brahma Muhurt, automatically, even if I sleep late. But that is it comes in your routine. So one should be cultured, should have proper characters, and that character building is there from very beginning of life. If you don't make a character now, later on it is difficult. Whatever the habits are developed in the childhood, that habits remain, even if they know that it is something is bad, but they cannot give it up because of the association and having the character of it in a wrong way. So nowadays the people have become characterless without any culture. They don't know what to do. They just, whatever satisfy their senses, they want to do it. They degrade, their mind is disturbed, and they become very weak, or they don't have any strength, and they become depressed. They have to take drugs. To remove this depression, they have to take drugs, alcohol, and that further damages them. So in this way, people who are attached to sense enjoyment, their life is ruined. Dhyayate vishantamsha tamshaste shubhajayate sangat sanjayate kama कामात् क्रोधो विजायते, क्रोधात् भवति समोह, समोहात् स्मृति विभ्रम, स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धि. They just fall down in the material whirlpool. So many species of life that we have to go through. Krishna has given us this human life. Utilize it properly for satisfying the Supreme Lord, serving His lotus feet. But rather than that, we serve our whims, our senses. This is mostly done by following Western culture, the TVs, the cell phones, and bad association, not knowing about the scriptures, not learning, not reading, not paying attention. Parents also, means they get so much out of their way that they forget. Parents are also big way now fallen, and they don't really push their children to come to a senses. So this is about that how Grasta should. If the parents follow, children would also automatically follow. So one devotee means people who are in Grasta life, they should earn his livelihood, not depend on the temples. Like they may be serving the temple, but Prabhupada said that all the Grastas should live outside, come and serve the temple. If you have deities at your home, keep it a very simple, short, serve the temple. Why the temple should be served? Because it attracts many other people. Make it very nice. Nice presentation, nice clean atmosphere, nice decoration, nice arrangement for prasad distribution and welcoming the devotees who come. They are all your guests because they have come to get some instruction to become a devotee. So we should only keep ourselves, even if he is a very rich man, to keep the body and soul together. And now you have the human life. And then naturally, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, we should inquire about Brahman, about the Supreme Lord and Brahma Jigyasa. That now you have human life, then use it to understand Krishna and your relationship with Krishna. And what is your relationship? That we are all part and parcel of Krishna, and we should any the part satisfy the whole. Just like we have to put food in our stomach through our hand or through our all the work, and then you are nourished, your hunger goes away, and then you don't remember, oh, what I will eat, what will happen. So same way, one would be able to serve the Lord. If he serves the Lord, then he is satisfied in life. He does not hanker what to do. He is protected. His life is, because you have surrendered. Krishna says that Swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahatobhaya. That even a little bit that you step towards proper dharma means serving the Supreme Lord, pleasing him. Means the whole aim of the material world is to please the Supreme Lord. If you could do that, then Krishna would be satisfied, you would be satisfied, and your life would be perfect. He will give you intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. That he will give the intelligence to come to Krishna and preach others also. He should externally agree, saying, like people may be, what you are doing, parents and others will say that you, but we should have our own program, the devotees, all the activities of life. And externally, okay, you are right, you agree. But internally, right, that internally, it should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. Our purpose of life is to please Krishna, to serve the lotus feet of the Krishna. So Bhagavatam describes the aim of life and the whole program. So Bhagavatam should be in every home and should read at least one chapter or one verse or even half verse. And the purport of Srila Prabhupada, he gave such a deeper meaning in this purport that one can apply in the life. And many people have changed their life. So, and it should be all the natural products created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be utilized to maintain the bodies and soul, not this artificial way of living. So, an intelligent person should try to spread Krishna consciousness through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and all the necessities of life will automatically be follow or will come or will be provided by the Lord. Name Bhakta Pranashati. Kaunteya Pratijanihi Name Bhakta Pranashati. My devotee never perishes, never remains like in any kind of problem. Kama Sarva Kamava Moksha Kamodardi Tivarena Bhakti Yogena Yajit Purusha Param. That with great intensity we should serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Transcendental Lord. All living being the Lord's sons, is eternal parts and parcels, have the right to use their father's property and nature's arrangement. So it's not that you just grab everything, hold everything, and not use it for other people. It should be to make them also Krishna conscious. So that is really the Jiva Daya. Jiva Daya means not just eating them or doing treatment for them or providing some shelter or medicines. That is not, because again, next life or in the same life, they will suffer again. So why not to make him Krishna conscious? So you don't have to suffer at any time. So that is real Jiva Daya, to make him, give him Krishna consciousness, give him the mantra, give him some prasad, shelter, so he could let him do some work in the temple, and then so shelter would be there. He would be utilizing Krishna's like chanting and other things. So we will understand the aim of life, the goal of life. So yat karoshi yadashnashi yajjihosi tadasi yat tapasasi kaunteya tat kurusho madarpanam. That whatever that taskuru, you do it, but by offering it to me. Whatever that you are doing, you offer everything to Krishna. Then Krishna will give you as a prasadam, his mercy. And by that mercy, we will advance further in Krishna consciousness, and we would not lament for anything. So we will, about Grasta life, that is the main thing, that many Grastas are described in the in Srimad pages of Srimad Bhagavatam and other literatures, like Karta Muni. When he did 1,000 years or more than that, meditation, asking the Lord to give him a good wife, so he could lead a nice ideal family life. So he had some enjoying propensity, and there is nothing wrong, because this sex life or attraction to the opposite sex is there. So there is propagation of the society, or it increases and does not really stop, because everybody can take sannyas or vanprastha or brahmachari, but one thing is that they cannot remain brahmachari. There is a special license, and if it is according to the dharma, then it is sanctioned by Krishna. So one can get, and Karda Muni, so by the arrangement of Krishna, the Devuti was brought by her father. His father, mother both were there, and she was given in marriage by Swambhu Manu. Manu and Satrupa, they came in the forest, and he had nothing, but he was qualified internally. So she served very, very nicely, and later on she desired to have a son. So they had, I think, 9 daughters, and after that there was, and he said that I will go away after you have a son. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kapil Dev, became the son, and he enlightened Devuti. He was saying, Nirvanam Nitaram Bhuvan, Asad Indriya Tarshna. My Asad, not Sat, Sat Indriya, but Asad Indriya, my Indriya senses are dragging me what I should do. So see the qualification of, she is the daughter, means princess, she is the daughter of this Satrupa and Manu, Swambhu Manu. So her husband is such a saintly person, elevated Karda Muni, and she is young, beautiful, all the assets very well educated, understood everything. But in spite of that, she is saying that my Asad Indriya is Darshana. It is dragging me, Darshan, lamenting for something. So she's showing our way, that how much that we should be begging to the Lord, we should be careful and serve the Lord. So Yudhishthira is asking Narad Muni about Shishupal, that Shishupal, how he died, means he wanted to marry Rukmini. Just seeing her, he became just fainted. Rukmini Devi, although Rukmini Devi decided to marry Lord Krishna. So Krishna came and took her away. So Krishna has had eight queens that he married after he moved to Dwarka, and all 8 different kinds of marriage were there. Brahma marriage, uh, uh, Deva marriage, Arsha marriage, Gandharva marriage, Prajapati marriage, Rakshas marriage, uh, Pishachi marriage, what those 8. So he also married, he had, but one should not think that he is a lusty man. Why did he marry these 8 principal queens and then also another 16,100, total 16,108. So those were there. Because he's the Supreme Lord. Everybody, like we call ourselves Purush, but really everybody is a feminine, is a Prakriti, is part and parcel, and should serve the Supreme Lord. And one should not put those questions which are we are limited, but Krishna is not limited. He expands, and he was living separately with each 16,108 queens. It's not that he remained, he had 16,108 houses, everyone had 10 sons and 1 daughter of all of those. So we should not say that how did he married to so many. When people they blame why did he stole the clothing of the girls when they were not of them. So, but they were worshipping Katyani Devi, is all, and going to the Yamuna in month of Magh, Kartik, and dipping themselves up to the neck. But Krishna wanted to teach them that in the Yamuna river to go naked is not proper. So he stole the clothing, and also there has to be full surrender. So they surrendered, no covering should be there. So he asked them to raise their hands or pay obeisances. And then he asked them to come one by one to the tree, and then he gave the clothing. So anyway, that is Krishna's pastimes, and we should not put our weaknesses or our mind, contaminated mind, on Krishna himself. So Shishupal, how he was, when he was killed by Krishna by the Sudarshan Chakra, his life here entered the lotus feet of the Lord. Why it was so? Why did it entered? Because Shishupal and Dantavakra were devotees, were doorkeepers of. So they did enter after that because they served sincerely. That was Krishna's arrangement, that he made them demons, and then he had fighting spirit also. So they fulfilled the desire like Hiranyakashipu, Ravan and Kumbhaka, and Shishupal and Dantavakra. So lotus feet is the people should of the Krishna are sanctified. We should pay our attention to the lotus feet and worship the lotus feet. He is also called Tirthapad, because all the tirthas are at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. All the tirthas are there. And is also called Mahatpad. Mahatpad means it is the Mahat, means all the devotees are surrendering to the lotus feet of the Lord. And that could be attained easily, one can say, by hearing and chanting the holy name of the Lord. Parikshit Maharaj also meditated on the lotus feet of the Lord. He was looking, because when he was in the womb of Uttara, then the Krishna was there with his Sudarshan Chakra in a small form and rotating around this opening of the uterus, so that this Brahmastra could not go in the womb and damage Parikshit Maharaj. So he was there for almost, like Krishna was there almost for 9-10 months, until Parikshit Maharaj appeared or gave and he was looking whom I was seeing when he was born. So he was looking who is that personality. But later on he knew that it was Krishna. So he was a perfect devotee, and he was and anyway, so this way I will give a little bit more about Grahasthashram from different scriptures and how they and why we should give everything for Krishna. Even in the earliest line, Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, text number 1 itself talks like that. We read that verse, Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotiya sa sannyasi sa yogi cha nirna chakriya. That one, it's not that one, even like sannyasi, a person is grahastha, but he lives according to the scripture, is a perfect sannyasi. Not that he has to take the prana. In the Kali Yuga, it is even prohibited. But in ISKCON, there is some ekadanda sannyasi or tridanda. By body, mind, and words, we are dedicated to Supreme Lord. So one is in grahastha life, he could be a sannyasi, grahastha sannyasi. And our mind, that is the machitta matagata prana bodhayanta parasparam, that is the duty katayanta shimam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Machitta means our mind should be dedicated to Krishna. Our thoughts should be on Krishna, and their lives are fully devoted to my service. Krishna service means bringing the people who are bereft of Krishna consciousness to the lotus feet of Krishna by distributing books, by distributing prasad, by giving them about Krishna, his glories of Krishna, and what are the benefit by building temples and bringing them in that way. And they great satisfaction by serving Krishna and always enlightening each other and conversing always about Krishna himself. In this way, one can dedicate their life, and our association should be pure, perfect. And there is one talks about this, that how we could meditate to arouse our prema bhakti. This is from Prema Bhakti Chandrika. This Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, that how we could become a devotee. What is the price to become a devotee? He said only 5 paisas. You buy Prem Bhakti Chandrika and Prarthana. That was at that time, it was hardly 2 annas or 2 paisa for Prem Bhakti Chandrika and 3 paisas for this book Prem Bhakti Chandrika and Prarthana. And you could become a devotee if you follow those instructions and read it. So just few things. In spiritual bliss, I will develop intense love for the youthful divine couple Radha and Krishna, and hear the glorious topics of their loving affairs. Worshipping and chanting the holy names of Radha and Krishna is the abode of all transcendental mellows. I will fall at their left feet in ecstasy. So there is time wise, it is so much different according to time, place, and circumstances. Before, Grahasthas, like women, did not have to work. They will remain home, take care of the home, take care of the husband, take care of the children, cleanliness, cooking, offering, Diti Sevya, all these were there. That is, but now because so much prices on high, so much inflation is there, and women have to work. But that work should be that there is not much contact with the male worker, or just like secretaries, and one can do minor kind of thing and may not be full time. That is not to work. That is the best. But if you have to work, if you are obligated to work, but one should keep the life simple. People may say that I have no money, but reduce your life's needs. We have so much needs that we have created our own, that if needs made half, then your income becomes double, because your needs have reduced to half. One the Prabhupada's disciple, I forgot his name, he was shouting that I will double your money just in few days. Please come to me. A large crowd came in front of him. And then he says that, look, there is so much inflation, we don't really need many things. And if you reduce your needs to 50%, then your income is already automatically doubled. You save 50% of the money and you are wasting. So in that way, Prabhupada is also saying that one should have a simple life. Simple life means only to keep the body and soul together, not so many fancy things, not so many fancy gadgets, not so many fancy cars, fancy houses, fancy so many equipment, whatever, because our life is short. Anytime it may go away. You may say that you are talking about primitive life. We cannot go to primitive life. That is not the advice, but you use most of the things in service to Krishna. And you utilize as a prasad of Krishna. And Prabhupada was also Gurukuls, Dharma community, cow protection, and live simply even in the mud houses. And it is clean, it is ventilated properly, and there is no pollution, and that kind of. So cow agriculture, and he showed demonstrated. He bought some land, agriculture, like Gita Nagari or New Vrindavan, or in France there was a land, and also Miami. So many places Prabhupada, even in India like Hyderabad, and was given a lot of land. So that is the way that people work in the land, simple life, like Shivaram Swami. Yes, big farm, and everybody like some places they don't keep even electricity or simple to protect the vegetable from rotting. They keep in the mud. Mud means in the clay, and they don't spoil. I went there to where Shivaram Swami has the temple, and so simple life. But they are all people are very happy, dancing, and use fruits and nuts, whatever they produce, they use it, and live very happily. So that is what these pages are. Remembrance of the Lord's pastimes and the life and soul of the devotees. Remembering the sweet loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna is the essence of all processes. This is the goal of life, and as well as the best means of achieving the goal. So Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should he should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. So Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi and Narayan, Sita and Ram, Uma and Parvati. So one should live not just together, but in devotion to the Supreme Lord. Both are like parallel railway tracks, and railway tracks, they go together and serve the Krishna. Not that clashes should not be there. It should be, both should be devotees, and that would be the ideal life. If the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be servants of these two principles. Never forget Krishna and always remember Krishna. So that should be the goal of life. The sweet Shyam's complexion of Krishna is like the effulgent new rain cloud, wonderfully dressed and the most expert in performing conjugal pastimes. Jeweled ornaments adorn the yellow garments, and peacock feather decorates his curling hair. One should decorate the Lord nicely so people become attracted. He is so sweet anyway. Even ornaments get beauty by if we offer it to Krishna. Like I'm in a village atmosphere. People bring, like yesterday, someone brought tulsi, and they made the garland with the tulsi. So much abundantly it grows in certain parts of India, and they make it nice. So we could give. I gave it at the hand of Srimati Radharani, so she could offer to Krishna. So the lotus feet with that we were talking, and that these four Kumaras, they smelled the tulsi leaf, they smelled the sandalwood pulp offered to Narayan, and they went, and just by means they were not Mayavadis, they're impersonalist. That God has no form, no qualities. So they are impersonalist and not Mayavadis. Not that everything is Maya, no, everything is created by the Lord. But by smelling that, they become the personalist. So Sukhdev Goswami heard about the glories of the Lord uh, and that how kind he is, and then he also became a devotee of the Lord. So those are, so we should try to attract and serve in one way or another to attract the public, and they become devotees. So I will meditate on Radha and Krishna. I will not speak about any other topics, even in my dreams. Means we should not unnecessary gossiping or worldly talks or wasting time in newspaper or TVs and talking about politics and talking about other families, problems of other families, what happened. They have nothing to do with the soul. We should see that is my soul is nourished by such talks and not spend time. I will not anchor up anything else except loving service to the divine youthful uh, couple. The loving sentiments of Radha and Krishna are like gold refined a million times. Oh my mind, please constantly meditate on Radha and Krishna as your only lovable object. So this is like kind of manas siksha, that is the only, just as a bumblebee is attached to honey, a chakora bird is attached to the nectar of the moon, a chaste wife is attached to her husband, and poor men are attached to the wealth. Similarly, the minds of devotees are attached to the loving service of Radha and Krishna. So that should be the loving service to Radha and Krishna. And there are more and more descriptions are given about the devotional service that Grihastha should be engaged in devotional service. And that is and all the cantos everywhere that you go, it is about glories of the Radha and Krishna. Every learned man knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. Prasanga majaram asham atmana kavayo vidu sa eva sadhushu krato moksha dwaram apartam. If you are attached for the material things, it is your entanglement of the soul. And if you are attached, the same attachment, if it is transferred to devotees, self-realized devotees, that opens the door of liberation. So one way is keeping us in the darkness, and another way that door is open to go back, come back to Godhead. And who is the sadhu whom we should be attached to? He is tolerant and titikshava karunika, suhrada sarvadehina, ajata shatrava shanta, sadhava sadhu bhushana. He is sadhu is tolerant, merciful, friendly to all living entity. He has no enemies. He is peaceful. He abides by the scriptures, and all his characteristics are sublime. There's a nice verse in this fourth canto, chapter 25, and text number also is 25. Tatam prasangan mama viri samvido bhavanti ratkarna rasayana katha sajyoshanad apavarga varpani shraddha ratir bhakti anukramashati. In the association of pure devotees, if we associate discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then the real devotion and devotion service begins. I will read about little bit and discuss about that how by remaining in the Grihastha ashram, how one can be freed from this. In fourth canto, 30th chapter, this verse is there. Grashva vishatam chapi pumsham kushara karmanam madva arthayat yamanam nabandaya grahamata. So even in the Grihastha ashram, you could mostly in the Grihastha, he becomes so much like entangled, but he should be, one should love their spouse, children, but attachment, loving and attachment is different. Your attachments, you cannot live without them. You are constantly thinking in day and night and all the time, but one should not be constantly thinking about how to make more money or how to, now what children, yes, you should take proper care of them, and then we should depend on Krishna. One thing is very important, that one should depend on Krishna, that he is the one who is taking it. This, all the children are his, not mine, not me and mine. These two things, they keep us in the material world. So if we don't have that me and mine propensity, me that I am this body, enjoy my senses. Mine is whatever is around me, my wife, children, my wealth, my home, my position and country, and those are mine, but they are nothing is mine. We come without any possession and we go without any possession. The land has been transferred millions of times, and others they all I am the proprietor. But real proprietor is Krishna. Savai Bhumi Gopalaki. Everything is of Krishna. So how you could be? Should we give up our wife and children, or no? You don't give up. You take care of them. That is your duty. If one is married, then he should take care of the responsibility. But in a way that they become Krishna conscious. And it should be done in a very early age, from Garbhadhan Sanskar, and follow up with that. So Grahastha, if it is like this, like Prachin Barisat, he was that Lord Prachin Barisat was putting so much fire, and there was so much weeds and trees were growing up everywhere. But he said that these are all children of Krishna. You should not burn like this. Should not kill the animals. He was hunting so much. Then he gave him the story of King Puranjan. And through that story, Narad Muni gave that. And he taught him that that is not proper. Then his children, the Chetas, they were given knowledge by Lord Shiva. Now one may say, why Lord Shiva? They were worshippers of Krishna. Why Lord Shiva had to come? But Shiva is a Vaishnava, and he asked them to, means he detached them, made them detachment from the family life. And before marriage, they wanted them to become perfect brahmacharis. One who is a good brahmachari, then he could have a nice grastha life without, he does not become a sense enjoyer. Otherwise, most of the people, they think that now it is my license to enjoy wife or husband, but that is so. So those Sharanagat, they become Bhagavan Krishna. So whoever, Lord Shiva becomes happy if you become a devotee of the Lord Krishna. There is nothing wrong with that. But if you are a devotee of Lord Shiva, then he will encourage you to become devotee of Krishna. Bhagavanta Vasudeva Sanna Sapriyo Priyo Hime. So he was, but ultimately, Bhavanam Janmana Bhante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvameti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabh. That Mahatma, who is that Vasudeva is everything. Means really it is Vasudeva's play, the play of the Lord. According to our so it is all Krishna's arrangement that he has created, he maintains us, it destroys us, creates again. So we come to our senses that this material world is not a place for gentlemen. The real place is back home, back to Godhead. But he takes care of devotees personally. That is very important. That he samoham sarvabhuteshu na dvesti na samaya priya. That nobody, I am equal to everybody, whoever comes to me. But a devotee who is surrendered to me is that I live in him and he lives in me. And so they live in Krishna's abode. So Krishna becomes even subservient to his devotee. And if you worship Krishna, automatically all the demigods, because they are all devotees, they become also very happy. Not that you have to worship all the demigods separately. There is no need for that. And people so much worry about this graha and other things. But grahas, if you are a good devotee, then graha cannot act on you. Iha yasya harer dasya karuna manasa gira nikhilashopo avasthasu jivana mukta uchyate. That grahastha bhakt by mind and activity is always thinking karmana manasa gira, he thinks of Krishna. So he does not get tied up, or he does not get into entanglement of the karma. Because whatever activity, karma means any activity you do, it is a karma. Whether it is a sukarma or vikarma, both are entangling. Because, and even it is a good karma, then you have to remain in the material world to enjoy the results of your good karma. And same thing, you have to suffer or bad karma. But doing service to Krishna, that's why every scripture says that you serve Krishna, do work for Krishna. And then you won't get entangled. There is no good or bad karma. You may enjoy what Krishna is offering you. You may say, what I will eat if I give it everything to Krishna. Not that he's saying that you give 100%. Since you give to Krishna and you use it as his mercy, Krishna will not keep you hungry. He will take care of the family very easily, and because he has immense energy, immense wealth, and immense followers, he will take care of. And there are many examples in the history. And a devotee never goes and asks something material benefits. Like Prahlad Maharaj has remove my desire, that I don't desire anything, although Krishna gave the kingdom for whole Manvantar. Sudama but he had pride that I'm poor and I live without asking anyone. So anyway, then Krishna wanted to remove his pride. And he gave him so much. So our asakti, so we should do our without karma phal. In Bhagavad Gita, there is verse 319. Tasmal asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma paramatnoti purushah. That is 319. I will just read the purport and I will end at that time. Tasma asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hi acharan karma paramatnoti purusha. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activities, one should act as a matter of duty, or by working without attachment, one attains the Supreme. Without attachment means you do it, but don't get it is mine, I will keep for myself and I will enjoy and I will increase it. That is demonic tendency. Just that demonic people think that I have so much now, will have so much tomorrow, or I will so much later on, and I have defeated my enemies and I will kill more of the enemies and I won't have any enemies and I will be the like Hiranyakashipu and Ravan, and they were thinking. So we should go according to the scriptural injunction, and not that you should remain morose or remain you were, and teach to the people about Krishna consciousness, bring them home or in the temple and read scripture. Like in olden days, how Prabhupada also says in the purport that even 50 years ago, people were living simply. They were talking about Krishna, that, oh, these things are done because of my karma. So they knew about the effect of karma, and that if we do bad things, the bad things will come to us. So they were chanting, kirting, Ram Ram, or Jai Sri Krishna, that is the natural exchanges. They were keeping the names of Krishna. Most of them were on the children. Like in my own family, my older brother was Vidyadhar, then I am Shyam Sundar, Radha Krishna, Kailash, Jagdish, Gokul, all related to anything related to Krishna. So that way, even if you speak or try, you talk about Krishna. So Prabhupada taught many messages. All the scriptures he talks about Grihasthashrama, about how one can be a proper devotee, run properly. And so I will end here. If there is any, there are 5-7 minutes more are left. If there is any comments, questions, or corrections, or improvements, or anything, please let me know, and we can discuss about this Grihasthashram, particularly what Krishna is, what we are talking about this particular verse number 7. Householders must act to earn their livelihood, but they should offer the results to Krishna and worship great devotee. So these three things. They should work, they should dedicate their life to Krishna, give to them, and they should not get attached to those things. And we should worship the great devotees. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for wonderful class, Prabhu, for explaining wonderful points how Grihastha has to be. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Devotees, if anybody have any questions or realizations you would like to share, please unmute yourself and go ahead with your questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare
Very,
Krishna.
very wonderful class and very nice instruction for Grasta. Prabhuji, in between you were talking about the different types of marriages. I think you talked about 8 types of marriages. Can you please explain a little bit about that more?
A little bit. I don't have in front of me. I had to open the Google and see. But there is Brahma marriage, Deva marriage, Arshaveva, Gandharviva. 4 are nice, like Prajapatya, Brahma marriage, Deva marriage, and Arshaveva. But Gandharva marriage, Rakshas marriage, Pishachas marriage, and that is Asur marriage. You just kidnap somebody, or by force, or by paying money, or but Krishna married to by all of these 8 kinds of marriages. By fighting, and they bring like Bhishma Pitama brought 3 girls, and 2 were married to the to his brothers, but others was left over, and there was so much problems. Rukmini, it's not a kidnap, but he caught hold of her and he went. It's not in the marriage, the girl is given to a boy in front of everybody. That is Sakshi. Fire is a Sakshi, and you have 7 times the parikrama, or do it of the fire. So it is blessing, and it is a public. Everybody knows that such and such person is married to such and such boy or girl. But this Ashur marriage, and that you just kidnap, and just like Ravan, that is Ashur marriage. That is not, or you can say Rakshas marriage. He did not marry, he just kidnapped her. Satyabhama was given by her, Satyabhama and Jambavati were given by their parents. They give enough dowry also. Satyabhama's father gave Samantak jewel and so much Rath and chariots, and so in that way, Nagna Jiti, like Satya is also her name. Nagna Jiti, that there were 7 bulls. You will read those marriages later on. It would be coming, but it would be on the 10th canto. Krishna married initially to Rukmini, then Jambavati, then to Satyabhama, and then 5 were married later on. And there is a whole separate chapter about these 5 different marriages. There were 7 bulls, and they were very, 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 always remaining angry and sharp. Horns were there, and nobody could catch them. But all 7 had to be caught together, and they should be caught up and then tied up. And Krishna did that. Means they were attacking Krishna from area. Nobody could really, even one of the bull that they could catch. What was about 7 bulls together? Mitravinda and Bhadra, Lakshmana. Lakshmana is also called Madra, but Mitravinda, and her brother did not wanted that Mitravinda to be married to Krishna. But when she had a Swambar, and in Swambar so many princes came, and they thought that they will get the marriage. But Krishna just got hold of her and brought home and got married. So it's a different kind. Krishna enjoys all kinds of pastimes, and so that is his pastime, all kinds of activities he does it. And so he demonstrated to us that but which are good and which are not good. He also says that in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Very nice, Prabhuji. Only Krishna can do that. We cannot do
Yes,
that.
yes. No, we cannot do that. That's correct. Like Kardamuni marriage, that is very nice. That's our parents brought. He worshipped Krishna for 1,000 years. That please give me a wife who would be able to when we become Krishna conscious together. We both serve Krishna together. And she served Kardamuni for many, many years without asking anything. when Kardamani saw that she's serving me and there is not even, so she becomes so much emaciated and her hairs well disheveled, and although she was she's like a queen or princess, she was living in a palatial place with thousands of servants. So he, because of his power, he had 1,000 dasis, maid servants who served her on lake, and then he had an aeroplane, and he flew in the aeroplane to all the planets. And then he gave her 9 daughters and 1 son. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very nice class, Maharaj.
Not nice, I just.
Hare Krishna.
Valli Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Ji, maybe Maharaj needs to go because he said 5-6 minutes. We'll ask if Maharaj has time and then we will go. Maharaj, is it okay to take one question?
Any short question, because I have to offer Aarti at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
So you could, but if there is any short, because I am ready to just go.
Oh, okay. So this is one small question, Maharaj. There is another wife, maybe for Krishna before Rukmini, I heard. The mother of Upashloka. Even before marrying, when he went to kill Kamsa, at that time she used to offer Chandan to Kamsa, and she is with the...
No, but that she was not a married. He just Kubja.
Kubja, yeah, Kubja.
Yeah,
And her
but she
name
was
was
not
also changed after that, right? Kubja's
yes,
name was
yes,
also...
yes. He called her Sundari and lifted her chin and one on the foot, and she made her straight away. And but that is not a marriage. She served. She wanted to that Kubja in her past life. She was Surpankha. And Surpankha, and then he said that I cannot marry you, but in the next, so she did marry.
But
So
they had a son also, right? Upashloka or someone?
No, I don't know. It's not in Bhagavatam somewhere, but I read about Kubja and how she was this. She gave the sandalwood and all this sandal paste, but she Krishna went for one night too, not a night, just for a few hours to her home, but not that she was married. Okay, to give her association.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, because I read an entire story how she waited for, in every day she used to wait in a different mode for Krishna, and the final day he came, and they had a son also named of Upashloka. So that's...
If you desire to serve Krishna, be with Krishna, Krishna fulfills all the desire. So our desire should be very proper as a service to Krishna, not for our own enjoyment. That shows that desire is how much importance it is. We remain entangled in the material world because of our wrong desires, other than Krishna. We desire to have wealth, we desire to have nice educated children, so much earning, so much job, and all this big palatial building, and that entangles us. I'm not, if it is coming automatically, you use it and use it for Krishna. It's not that if you get, Prabhupada says, if I get $1 million today, I will spend it tomorrow or even tonight. Or Krishna service. He had so much, but he was the richest man practically during that time. Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for your wonderful class, and we look forward for your association again. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Kripas.
Dubhyem Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grace Samik Rishi
Prabhuji ki jai.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees, for joining. Hare Krishna. Closing the call. Nityananda. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hare Bol.
Okay. Hare